I guess whenever you're ready to take questions.
Just an update on Fergie.
Fergie's fine. He's in a bad mood because, he got stepped on. His hands cut in a bunch of different spots, and he wanted to go back in the game. But, at that point, we knew it was a day we were wanting to get a lot of guys action, so we kind of used that as an excuse to get him out of there. I think it was a postseason game. No doubt he gets back out there. I don't know that he'll play tomorrow, but he'll definitely be good to go this weekend. So we'll see how it goes. But, it's one of those situations you hate to see it happen to the kid, but you're fortunate enough to have some depth to make up for it. But he's one of our best guys, so we'll get him back when we can.
Christian makes his first start. Kirby makes his first appearance. Just your thoughts on how they performed?
Yeah, and Ethan Anderson's played for us, but that was his first appearance on the mound after having a hammy that bothered him. So I kind of came to work excited about those three things happening, and I thought all three kids handled it great. Now, if you want to tease our freshman class, if I'm not mistaken, every one of them got ripped the first AB or first hitter that they faced, including Mark and, Mabry. And, it's kind of part of the deal if you throw strikes, but it's a good sign that they're all throwing strikes. And Deli kind of showed you he's a potential starter for the rest of his career here. Tennessee grown kid, loves the Vols. And those other two guys are going to be relievers for us, and I think in crucial spots in the coming years, if not this year.
How much improvement has Christian made from the time that he showed up to Tennessee to his first career start?
I think it's just been a maturity thing for him, learning the little ins and outs that probably weren't as important in high school. I mean, he was part of a state championship high school team, so he's always had a lot of success, comes from a good program, as well as, playing with the Memphis Tigers in the summer. So the background was there, but it needed some seasoning. He had a first and third play against Clemson where he fielded a comebacker and he didn't really know where to go with the ball. And so just little things like that is where he's improved. But his stuff has always been very good. And I always tease our hitters, like, you guys don't know how to hit this guy. You need to get together and have a little scouting report meeting. But the reason they don't hit him is because he's good.
I know y'all had pretty high expectations heading into the season, but y'all at all surprised by how strong y'all have started?
I don't think so. I think you're cheating yourself if you're surprised when you have success. Now, you could total things up and say it's been a good stretch from point A to point B, but I think these guys have a pretty good mindset of attack what's in front of you. So today we went 1-0, and tomorrow we want to go 1-0. And I kind of mentioned in an interview at some point today, no team's gone 56-0, so I don't have a defeatist thought or, mentality, but that's not going to happen for us. So the key is to keep doing things the right way, and the game will tell us what we are. And, in the building, we don't think we're world beaters or top 5 team yet or anything like that, but we think we're good. So if we do what we're supposed to, then the numbers will be appealing to you guys and hopefully for Vol fans, even though Vol fans got high standards.
How exciting is what Durkee has been able to give you so far off the bench and just a really solid weapon at bat?
Well, it's been exciting for us because we feel like we got something we can go to, but I think the feeling everyone else has is just happy for him, or pleased to see him having success because he's such a good kid and he's such a good teammate. So the guys rally, around him no matter how it goes, but when it goes good, you've heard how excited they get, especially in Round Rock that happens. So he's had plenty of success in his 3 years at this place to begin with. So we knew we had something, but I think he's made a jump in maturity and how he handles things, and it's a tougher kid than when we first got here.
How nice is it being back for the next, 10 games, now 9?
It's good that road trip we talked about. It doesn't matter if you win, lose, where you go, charter plane. It's fatiguing to travel. So you need to manage that. And you need to manage stuff at home too because you're going to class and all that. But it sure is sweet to sleep in your own bed. And it's nice to keep our guys in a routine in the classroom, in the weight room, because practice on the field kind of takes a back seat to those two things. And it definitely takes a back seat to game day, which is we're in that mode right now where we just get to play.
Were you at all concerned about them coming out slow today after the big weekend, and just kind of what was the message there, and how do you think that they responded from the big weekend for today?
Yeah, you want to be consistent, and you want a win. We kind of talked about Texas Tech. We won on Friday, and they were on an emotional high. You could see they were fired up, and that win needed to contribute to the rest of the weekend, not take away. So last weekend needed to contribute to today, not take away. And same thing, we got a lot of kids involved. The guys were really fired up to see Kirby pitch You know, he had an ankle injury in the fall, as well as some of the other positives from today. So that needs to bleed in tomorrow and give us a push to tomorrow. It doesn't need to be something they spend an hour in the locker room talking about and lose sight of the tasks they have in front of them tomorrow.
Not to take anything away from this win, but can you describe the amount of juice that series in Texas, you know, the sweeping of those teams gave this team?
You know, it's too early to talk about this for our sport, but you're talking about basketball right now with March being right around the corner. Your resume is important. So you want to build your resume for all those things you want to happen in the postseason. And you really, like when you sit in the stands and you watch a game, you know, if you're a true baseball fan, you got to pick and choose when you go get some popcorn or hot dog or whatever it is, because you might miss the one pitch that you could say really made a difference. And you can't pick out which game out of the 56 could really make a difference. And, you know, last year we had a couple big wins. I don't know which one. You know, the Florida coming back and winning on game 2 after blowing a lead might have been that one game, but you don't know which one it's going to be. So you need to treat them all the same and put equal value on all of them. And then at the end of the year, you hand in your resume, and it's out of our control after that.
Two more questions. Status right now.
Camden will play catch again tomorrow. He's played catch a little bit, as well as Garrett. And, you know, Heflin threw his first bullpen today, so hate to steer away from your exact question, but I felt like we picked up a free agent in Kirby today, and it kind of makes me feel good. And kind of with Ethan on the mound, too, because he hadn't pitched. Our next free agent's going to be one of those 3 guys. I don't know which one, but Heflin was on the mound today, and he looked pretty dang good. We're taking it a little slower with those other 2 guys, but they'll get on the mound again sometime before the end of the week, and then we'll go with what we feel is right. But kind of like with Fergie, I mean, I don't know. I'm not the nicest guy in the world, but sometimes I get painted like we're over-aggressive in certain areas and things like that. We couldn't be a more conservative staff with our guys' health. So, like with Fergie, we're just going to be sure. And then postseason time, I don't care if you're missing a finger or something like that, like Ronnie Lott. It's time to get out there and play. But for now, we're not quite to that status yet.
One more.
You touched on it a little bit, but y'all had big wins last year and necessarily weren't always able to follow them up. How important of a step was it to beat Texas Tech and then come out and beat Houston and Stanford in the next 2 days?
It's huge. You got to manage your emotions. And we just, maybe it's just kids in general now, or maybe I'm getting old, but we got guys with a lot of emotions. And I think you've seen it over I just mentioned it with Pete. I mean, he's gotten great at it, but you need to manage your emotions, and they need to be consistent, first of all. And then things like adrenaline and excitement, you need to have that work for you, not against you. And I think this group, whether they're more talented or better than last year, I don't know. But I think the kids from last year's team that are on this year's team are better at controlling their emotions, and that's only going to lead to more consistent play. And this is kind of a game of consistency and percentages.